07. We are live with GSC episode 176. Danny, what's up?
I'm just excited to get tired tonight. We got the Friday Night Lights week 2.
See, man, I'm kind of pissed. Okay. I want to do this workout because I had a lot of fun doing the first one. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to not do it because there's
Yeah.
one movement I can't do, like can't do in my garage. I can't do the bar muscle ups in my garage because there's not enough room. So I'm like, I think I'm going to potentially get there. I don't know. But
You don't want to get there and not be able to move on.
yeah, I don't even know if I even could get there. I don't really do much barbell work these days now. But I don't know. I feel strong. I felt strong in the last one, so I don't really know. But yeah, it's like what should I do instead though? Say I do get there, which I think I will. What should I do instead? Like maybe like some strict ring rows or ring muscle ups or some shit.
You can do ring muscle ups.
Sitting, like sitting ones
Oh,
or something. I don't know.
well, for muscle ups, for people who can't do them, a lot of times in class we do burpee pull ups because
Ah.
you have like a push at the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the dip at the top of the muscle up. And it's a hip opening and closing thing, kind of like anyway. So you do burpee chest to bar pull-ups.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'll do then. Yeah, my goal is to try and do all of them this year, which would be the first time probably in 10 years.
I think it's a great workout. It's hard for sure. My little slight frustration is with my thrusters. I've always been pretty good at thrusters. It's been a strength for me, that movement, good front rack position, strong. I understand a barbell. Like I move really well with the bar all those years of weightlifting. But the catch is that I had this elbow surgery a little over a year ago, and since then, I kind of tweaked my wrist on because of that. You know what I mean? Like favoring that side, I kind
Compensating.
of tweaked my opposite wrist, and so my front rack position just isn't as good as it used to be. It's fine for front squats but it goes in my fingers more than I would like it to. I can't keep a full hand grip on the bar really in the front rack right now,
Yeah.
so that makes thrusters tough because it's the coming off my shoulders. I don't trust my wrist enough to like let it be in my fingertips and roll it into my hands as I'm coming up. You know what I mean? That like that pressure, it's not the pressure on my wrists when it's in the front rack position because I can get it on my shoulders like I'm supposed to. It's coming off of the shoulders and then placing it back onto my shoulders. I need to let it. I need my wrist to kind of like lay back and let the bar roll into my fingers more than I'd like to.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wear a wrist strap and see what happens. And like worst case scenario, if I just hold the barbell out in front of myself more than I would like to, and I don't get it on the shelf as much as I'd like, that's fine. And I'm not tripping off the 95-pound thrusters. Like I'm just not real stoked about. And then again, assuming you get there, but I'm not real stoked about 135-pound thrusters with that kind of like
It starts at 65, right? It goes 65, 95, 135.
no 95, 115, 135.
That's what it is. Never mind. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
115. That was the difference. Yeah, 95, 115. That's right. Okay.
And I haven't done a ton of pull-ups, but the last few times we've done pull-ups, they felt really good. So I'm not worried about those.
So what is your opinion on the circus barbell? You know what I mean? Like the shorty that all these like pros use, it's kind of bitch ass.
Well, yeah, okay. Because so what's the purpose, right? Like they were designed for competition, right? Like Rogue made them so in the games they could fit more barbells, they could fit them in lanes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then I guess maybe people buy them with the idea of like, well, practice on them here so that if you use
When I
them in
never make the
training,
games.
then it's the same for the games. But also, like, if they weigh the same, like, I don't know, man. I think it's bitch ass too. I'm with you.
I think
Use
it's
a band.
kind of bitch ass because it's for sure a huge advantage because you got all the weight way more centered. It's not it's not getting if you miss racket, it's not going to be as dramatic falling to one side, this left or right. You know
Well,
what I
so
mean?
okay,
Like
so I don't know though. It's not the same distance between the collars? I think the bar is the same. I think just the ends are shorter.
yeah, no, the bar. Oh, I want to say the bar shorter. I don't think you can like snatch with them. As I don't, I could be totally wrong. So we'd have to look at it, but I'm pretty sure it might be shorter. Regardless, so even if it's not, the still like having the weight more centered, I feel like it at least will for the tipping point is an advantage. You know what I mean? Like if you miss
Right.
rack like 135 with a full length barbell, it can kind of mess you up coming out of the hole. Where if on that one, it's going to be not as dramatic, not as drastic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of bitch ass. If you use
Rogue
that.
C70 space saving short bar. Rogue's original shorty bar is a shortened version of our flagship Ohio bar, utilizing multi-purpose knurl. Blah blah blah. Efficiency meets functionality. With loadable sleeve length of 12 inches, this bar has the capacity for 445, so it can only hold 225 or 225 pounds.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I think that
Just the collar shorter.
while the 43-inch spacing between the sleeves doesn't allow this bar to be racked on a traditional power racks or squat stands, yeah, so you're right. So it's going to be shorter between the collars, between the sleeves.
Yeah, the whole thing is just bitch ass.
It is bitch ass. I agree.
No, I wish
I've come
honestly,
full circle.
the funniest part about all of this is actually if I had one, I would probably do way more barbell stuff in my garage
Because it would fit better.
because of the limited space.
You
Like
should
that's
get
half the
one.
reason why I don't do it because it's like I don't want to. It's like if I miss drop it, a little bit here and there, it can be like a fucking pain in the ass. So I guess
Yeah,
this whole conversation has turned into okay, like I need
you
to
should
summon
definitely
my
get one.
I should summon my bitch assness and go buy one.
You should just be the bitch ass.
Yeah, full circle
Lean
moment
into
there.
it.
Just lean into it. I think it all.
Lean into being a bitch ass.
I think my rage came strictly from jealousy of not having one.
Well, here's the deal. I'm just gonna say it. It looks silly.
It does look fun. I remember when I first saw him at one of the games. I'm just like, wait, what is that? Is that like a small barbell? Like, what is that?
Dude,
Like a curl
check this
bar?
out. They got another one, the C68S women's rackable short bar. So this Rogue bar is 25 millimeter, which that's like the standard girth of a women's barbell. It's modeled after flagship Bella bar, nearly 11 inches shorter than the Bella bar. It sacrifices almost nothing in features and functionality other than length and uh, let's see here. The bar, same thing, capacity. Um, the 51.5-inch spacing between the sleeves allows for this bar to be racked on any standard power rack or squat stand.
So it's just make it more confusing. Okay, now let's have one that fits in, but it's smaller. Let's have one that doesn't fit that is smaller and smaller,
That's
and
right.
then there's just a regular barbell.
That's right.
And what is the price point on the shorty, the men's shorty?
I don't know the
Three
min. I mean,
hundred.
this one's 280.
Okay. So
Let's see here.
no,
Rogue. This is the women's also. Where's the men's? Men's.
so pricey, huh? I wonder if like anybody else makes one of those, like Fringe or somebody.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm sure there's one on Amazon too, right? At this point, they have everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I
you get
imagine.
one for probably 150 bucks somewhere, but it's not going to
Okay.
be as good
Men's
by any stretch.
barbell. Let's see. Let's find the men's one here. What are we looking at? I mean, if you can get the Puros bar, I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Just because it's $720, I feel like that's probably the way to go. Uh, all right. I mean, that's the thing too. You're spending 300. I don't know. Like you said though, in your garage, I could see that making a lot of sense, right? Like, hey, look, I'm in the garage. I don't have much room in here anyway. Trying to figure it out. At some point, you'd already lost your self respect.
Exactly.
And so
I'm already in the
um,
garage, not with the community.
like I feel like I could probably buy one because I have a vasectomy. You know what I mean? And so
I'm not neutered yet.
once you start shooting blanks, then you might as well just go for it. Dude, this is the move. Right here is the Rogue C70 Boneyard bars. I don't know anything else about this,
The boneyard bars. I
dude.
like the name.
290 bucks. Oh, this is the shorty bar.
Okay.
So the it's funny. I clicked Boneyard bars. Anyway, the C70 bar, $290. Um,
God, that's expensive. Maybe they also like they raise the price during the open workouts that involve them. Who knows?
They should.
Price adjustment.
28.5 millimeter diameter. That's the same as like an Olympic bar. Yeah, this one's 35 pounds. So this is interesting. And so this one's the men's diameter, but it's a 35-pound bar still. So you got to adjust for that when you load it. So that's how they save the space is they because a lot of the weight is in the sleeves.
Okay,
And
so
so
they cut 10 pounds off, shorten all the dimensions on it. Basically, you can only use that for cleans,
yeah,
right?
43-inch spacing between the sleeves doesn't allow it to be racked, right?
If you can't, well,
Yeah,
maybe you
interesting.
can rack it. Maybe you can't rack it, but you can still snatch on it if that makes sense.
I just want to know why when
But
I
maybe
click on
not
the
though, because if you go
boneyard.
collar to collar, you also people's racks. Maybe they're talking about like specifically their Rogue racks, because
Well,
my
because
rack,
they're
DHS rack, you can adjust it to whatever you need, whatever. But like,
yeah, for sure. I think it's because it's 40. It said what did it say 43 inches. Let me get back in there. 43 inches. And so if you think about on like the rigs, the Rogue rigs, right? There were 4 foot, 6 foot sections, and so the 4 foot sections are where the squat racks are, and the 6 foot
mm-hmm,
sections between them, right?
mm-hmm.
And so like 43 inches between the sleeves, you can't put it on a 4 foot section. You're gonna be 5 inches short.
Yep. Yeah, just be sitting on like the collars, or not the collars, but the sleeve part, right?
Yeah, be sitting on the sleeves. Like,
Yeah.
there's like those 25-pound training bars that are like that, that we use for like the kids' classes or new people or
Yeah.
like our CrossFit Silvers class or whatever.
Maybe you should use
Um,
that.
just use that.
Just use that.
Yeah,
Use that tonight. See if it
maybe I
helps.
will. Dude, maybe I'll use the 15-pound aluminum training bars. Get some real whip coming off my shoulders on that thing. Those
Yeah.
things have the worst fucking knurling, like the most aggressive knurling on
Oh,
those like
really?
little aluminum bars. Yeah, dude, it's awful. It's like a fucking cheese grater.
Just fucking just slice your hand one lift.
That's another thing while I'm bitching about thrusters. And again, purely out of the fact that they used to be my strength and now that I struggle with them. Dude, I got this, like on my collarbone, I have all the scar tissue
Yeah.
from all the years of cleaning and stuff already.
Yep.
So like it's fine. It's like lowering down to it. Anytime I'm doing like shoulder overhead stuff, like this thing gets so swollen and big. Like it's gonna be bruised and swollen for like 4 days.
God, I remember when you're like in the thick of it. Like my shit was like a darker brown, like on my
Yeah.
skin,
Yeah.
and it went away, I guess. But I guess your skin always kind of just falls off. But um, yeah, I remember I had just these dark browns, and then the scar tissue underneath it, right on my collars from just the days in and out of the gym, just
And
constantly there. It wasn't bruising either. It was just like the skin had changed.
it's one of those things that just gets worse too because like on my left side it's for sure that's where it's bigger or whatever that's where the scar tissue is. So
Mm-hmm.
because I have this like scar tissue under the skin, like I can feel it, like on one side is just like normal skin, on the other side there's like this
It's like a thick
thick.
fillet. Yeah. Yep. I got that.
Yep. And
That's
then
on my.
underneath it the bone sticks up a little bit further too
Yeah.
because of like calcification, right?
Yep.
So then what happens, so now the bone sticks up higher and this now just hits more. Like it's just like it's like this thing that now it sticks up so that the bar hits it more.
Yeah. My right side sticks up more.
Mine's my left side. Together we're complete.
Yeah. We're in the middle, then we have normal collarbones.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I think it's a great open workout. I like that it never gets heavy, but it gets heavier. The movements get a little tougher, but also the buy-in, right? Like your average RX person can do 95-pound thrusters and regular pull-ups, right? So you can at least get the one round in. There's no rest. I think the key is to break stuff up. Like no one's going to win. I mean, someone's going to, right? Like you're going to get these games athletes who're just going to run through the whole thing without stopping. But your average person is not going to win this or lose this workout in the first round or two.
No.
I think the name of the game is having enough in the tank to be able to do bar muscle ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can fatigue out on the bar muscle ups, or you just like for some reason maybe you struggle overhead, you just can't lock out a couple reps
Yeah,
at the 135s when you're super gassed. After all the pull ups, you can blow up your upper body with the pull ups and muscle ups. That
and the
135
double
overhead can get
under
heavy.
the double unders are pretty low numbers, so that's not really big. That's just annoying. There's like in the way. Like
Yeah.
let's just get your heart rate up a little bit more before you're doing these thrusters.
Yeah, double unders are a
Um,
pain in the ass in my garage too, because it's like I have to stand in this one spot, and if I deviate anywhere direction wise, I'm gonna like hit the fucking garage door.
Just use a shorter
Um,
rope.
I know I need to adjust. Probably just need to adjust my rope. I just like I've
And then
always
just
liked my
use,
rope a little longer.
mm. And
I've
then
always preferred
just,
like a longer rope.
you got to get a shorter one and just stay kind of hunched over.
Yeah, just
That's the key.
like a beginner.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, so I watched the open announcement, and the girls, I think they finished both sub six.
That was pretty good.
Um,
Sub 6?
sub six. Yeah,
Dude,
they
I'm trying, my goal is to finish sub 12.
yeah they finished like five and some change. I think might have even
I
both. They might have both finished five, both sub 5:30.
I do
Actually,
like that there's a time cap. You know, it's like I
yeah,
got an out.
yeah, you get a bailout.
I got to bail out. Like that's the goal, just to
I would for sure
like
time
how
cap it. I think
scared can you
I think I
be?
would time cap it. My dubs, doing 40 in a row, like three different times, whatever it is, 40 plus.
42, 36,
Oh, it goes down.
uh,
Goes
42,
down.
36, 30. It's just
Okay.
double the reps of the other stuff.
Okay.
So the other things go 21, 18, 15. So we're looking at, 30, whatever, 42, 36, 30.
As long as I don't hit that dub wall, that can happen. Sometimes you just get flustered and your just timing is off, and then you start overthinking it, and then you can't get your timing. If
Yeah,
you're
it's hit
not
or
doing it
miss,
like
right? Like,
consistently, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Hey, while we're doing CrossFit workout talk, well, you just did the, how'd you feel about the first one? 25.1.
Honestly, like for me, that's kind of beside the 50's a little heavy, but like I only have pretty limited dumbbells, 50 being one of them. So like I'm constantly moving around a 50-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a big shock to me. So like I
Yeah.
actually like did a lot better than I expected with the dumbbells, hang snatches. And the
I,
in the burpees for me are like I can grind out burpees whenever. Like that's kind of one of my things. I have no
I
problem grinding out
yeah,
burpees.
I thought it was an interesting open workout because normally open workouts hurt. Like there's just no way around it. Like it's
Yeah.
just like they are painful. This workout was never really that painful. Like it was kind of this thing where, okay, I could have gone faster, but if I went faster on my burpees, then I would have had to stop and take a break at some point. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I did a pretty good job of moving as fast. Like I never stopped. I never stopped moving the
Mhm.
entire time. And
I broke up one of the later sets of dumbbells for sure, personally.
so I did not.
Yeah.
But in the last set, like whatever, there was like 20 seconds left, and I get to the burpees, and I knocked out whatever it was, like fucking 9 of them or something. Like I was moving on those. But if I would have done that speed earlier, then I would have had to stop and take breaks. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of this like, for me, there was this limiting factor of like, I mean, I was tired at the end for sure, but like, it never got to that. Like, what hurts about open workouts is you almost always get to a point where you, like thrusters are our example. It's like you can do a few more reps, but your legs but it fucking hurts. Like it's like
Yeah.
the burning more than it is the ability, right? And so can you just do it even though it hurts or not? And like this workout never, point one never had that, right?
Yeah. No, it
Um,
didn't. It wasn't never like and actually I felt like really good and fine after.
yeah, like 2 minutes after I was like, or even a minute after, I was like totally fine.
Yeah, I literally went finished the workout, ran upstairs, changed my underwear, put on some new deodorant, and then went and coached baseball practice.
Dude,
And
the
I was
workout
fine. And I
so
was fine.
it was so intense you shit yourself.
Yeah.
And then, and then you're good. You got the evil out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just didn't want that ass stank to start spewing into the parent section of the practice.
right. That's a good call. Man, I almost redid it, but I have no reason to. Like I have no plans of doing anything after whatever. But just because one thing I knew I made a mistake, like I didn't switch off hands early enough. Like I did all three in one, six on the other, and then like I split them 5-4. Then I got to like the 21s. And like the only thing that was really tired is like my triceps and shoulders were a little bit tired, right? And so then so I alternated every rep, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so much faster. Because I was doing the stupid thing of I would get it overhead, and instead of just bringing it down like a swing, I like lowered it to my shoulder and then went into the next rep. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like all those eccentrics. Like I did that every rep all the way through like the 18s or the 15s or whatever. And I'm like, man, I should have from overhead just alternated or just taken it straight down. Anyway, that's what I was like. So I almost did it again just because I'm like, dude, I wasted every single of those clean and to overheads, whatever. I wasted at least 1 to 2 seconds on every fucking one, and I added in like the eccentric load. And so I'm like, dude, there's a full 90 seconds of this workout that I wasted that I could have gotten more reps in. Because again, at the end, I wasn't like, oh god, I can't do another rep at the end. Like, no, I had a little more. Like, I could have done a few more reps if the time allowed, right? Like, and
Yeah,
so I thought about doing it again just because I was frustrated with myself and because it didn't hurt that bad. I'm like, maybe I'll redo that just to see, where I can get.
and then
But then
common
I was
sense,
like,
then common
why would
sense,
I do that?
then your common sense came through and was like, you know what? Why?
What's the point?
Get
Yeah,
ready for the next one. Um, yeah, I kind of just played it by ear. I didn't really start breaking them up till after the round of six, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do. All right, okay, I feel like I'm kind of getting tired on this side. Okay, switch.
yeah,
I didn't really have like a super elaborate plan, but it's like, okay, you start getting in those bigger set rounds. Like, okay, I'm gonna try and do 9 and 9 or whatever. Um,
dude. Yeah, if I
but
did
probably
it
would have been
again,
better off maybe just switching though, because there was a couple where I'm like,
here's the thing:
you
is
know,
it? Yeah, exactly. Is it faster to do like the set of three to do them all in one arm or to alternate hands? Like, I don't know that it's that much faster to do them on one side. You know what I mean? Because from the top, you're just basically dropping it and catching with the other side anyway. Like, it's not like you're doing this handoff thing. And I
yeah.
think I think it would keep your shoulders and triceps fresher doing, with the more space between the reps. Also, it would make you go from the top straight through the legs every time and not like tempt you with that like lowering it to your shoulder, which is like an unnecessary eccentric movement that's burning you out.
If you could find the timing of the transition without like stopping at like the hang, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
if you can find that transition with hands, then it's probably better off alternating. But I think it's like that fear of like, oh, I don't want to like lose this momentum, so I'm just going to keep going with this side. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah,
It's like, okay, if I mess up this timing, then I'm like, what if I stumble and then I got to like start from scratch again, like a kettlebell swing? You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's that. But
While we're
if you get,
on, keep the CrossFit talk going. Is Tuesday's workout at Excel was Cindy.
oh,
So we're talking, 5, 10, 15 of pull ups, push ups, squats.
yep, yep.
Probably done that thing a dozen times.
Oh,
Um,
it's a classic, especially if you have like a X amount of time that you're allotted to working out
Dude, 20 minutes
for the
built
day.
in warm up. It's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
So, anyway, it went fine. I didn't get like my best score, but like whatever, I got 20 rounds, right? So, like, that's fine. Like, as long as you get 20, I figure as
A
long as I
minute
get
on the
20
minute
plus,
almost.
well, that's what I do. So, every time I've gotten 20 plus rounds, I've done it EMOM style. I've started EMOM style. And then, you kind of know what kind of shape you're in. So, if I'm in good shape, I'll do the EMOM style, and then with like 6 minutes to go, I'll cut it loose and add in some extra. And I think I've gotten to 24 for sure. I may have gotten 26 one time, like on that. And then if I'm in not as great a shape with like 3 or 4 minutes to go, I'll cut it loose and sneak in an extra round or two, right? This time, I actually felt good. I was kind of surprised. I was able to keep up with the EMOM, like no problem really. And
Yeah,
then, uh, and then with like 5 minutes to go or so, all of a sudden the push-ups start again pretty hanky, which is kind of what happens. Anyway, so with 3 minutes to go, I cut it loose and I only finished with 6 reps past 20. So like, man, that's like um,
that's a
absurd. I want to hear something absurd is Buddy Hitchcock. Guess Buddy's best Cindy score.
oh man, 30 rounds,
Yeah, 32.
32.
30,
That's pretty
30
good.
and like with the judge, like it was like legit. Like he was doing
Oh,
it right
and
in front of.
if he told me he did 32 rounds, I would not really question
I did.
it.
I was like, did you stand up all the way in your squats? Like, trying to. But him and this guy Moses, who used to go to the gym, they were both like regional competitors back in the 2010s, and yeah, he did 32 and Moses did like 31. Like these guys are basically like every 35, like every
Well,
35 seconds, just like
they did the other workout, but in 20 minutes.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Chelsea, is it? I think
Chelsea,
it's a 30-minute EMOM.
30-minute
Yeah,
EMOM, and that's usually between the two. I've done that one way more than Chelsea or
yeah.
Cindy.
Cindy, the
I've
30-minute
done
version.
Chelsea way more than Cindy because I would just be I'd have the clock on. I'd be like, okay, boom. It forced me to like
Start.
not sandbag. Um,
Yeah, you
like
finish the
whatever.
round. You got like 25 seconds, basically 35 seconds on, 25 seconds off, and you just do that for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You really got to enjoy those first 10, 15 rounds. You
Yeah.
really enjoy those because it's like, the workout starts about halfway through.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
about halfway through, it's like, okay, now the workout begins.
Dude, definitely.
Um,
That,
but
yeah, there's that.
those are some classics, man. Like those are like the classic workouts that you feel accomplished. You're sweating, whatever that means. Some people just have to sweat. That's one of those workouts that'll definitely make you sweat.
Get it out. Get
Um,
the evil out.
get the evil out. Get the evil out. Shake the legs.
Shake that monkey.
Shake that monkey.
Too
Shake that
short.
tail feather.
Shake the
You
tail
know,
feather. Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about.
yep, those are good ones.
Yep.
But
Nip
yeah.
shakers. They're nip shakers.
So I think we should tell everybody what we got coming out as far as a new program that we've been working
Oh,
on.
you want to announce that now?
Let's break the news.
Well, we don't have a name for it yet, though.
We don't have a name for it yet, but we can still maybe talk about
All right. Well, from the creators of Thick Thigh
it.
Summer,
And CK3K and
from the architect of Washboard Winter, we're going to be bringing you a free bench press program.
The big chest, little legs program. I'm just kidding.
Dude, we should call it the Johnny Bravo program.
The Johnny Bravo program. Might be some copyright issues there.
Fuck it.
Um, the so wait, does Huck Finn, did he create the build the chest, fuck the rest slogan?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
his?
I don't
Because if it's
know.
not his, like we need to use that. But if it's his out of the friendship relationship and obviously good business, we shouldn't use that. But I wonder if he coined that or if that was already like a phrase.
What
Because I
about
love that phrase. That'd be great on it. I would love to put that on a shirt also. I think he already does,
yeah.
but
Well, yeah, it reminds me of the shirt I've talked about it before. I think on the show, I saw this guy wearing on the powerlifting meet. Said just real black shirt, white letters, real big. Just said eat, train, lift heavy, train. Wait, lift heavy, eat big, fuck hard. And it was like at this powerlifting meet, there's like kids running around, and he's just walking around with this shirt that's just like just across, just boom, big bold letters right across the front. And I was like, that guy knows what he's into, and now we all know what he's into. And like he lives by a code.
oh, it's those kind of shirts are acceptable at places like powerlifting meets, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, maybe
Local fair,
look.
county fair.
Yeah, I think if you wear that to a county fair, you get like a free like banquet beer,
Yeah,
like
and
or
then
like a Bud Heavy. You get
and
like a if you wear it at check-in, they give you a ticket to redeem for a free Bud Heavy and two monsters.
a half off on a deep fried turkey leg, 50% off. Also, like every time you're like, oh, I'm gonna get the deep fried turkey leg, and then you get it, and you're like, oh yeah, this still sucks.
Well, there's all the it's the little bones in there that are the pain in the ass, right? Like you think it's just gonna be like the one big, and then there's like those ligaments and like anyway,
Yeah, you're
it's pain in the ass.
constantly fighting the little bones on this. You're right. That's what it is. It's the process, and it's always just bland. Every bite's the same. You're just like, it needs some sauce or some shit.
Turkey, man, it's a nervous bird. Try to stay away from a fowl, you know.
Man, I made something that was so good yesterday for lunch. Um, I was at home by myself with Blake. Kelsey had to go to the office, and I'm like, man, like, okay, we have a bunch of bullshit that I can make that's been at the bottom of the freezer, right? But it's like I've been eating really pretty damn good lately, so I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do that. I'm not gonna do this today. I have time. I got nothing. Like, I'm not doing anything like important. I
yeah, got
can
the time
go.
to do it.
I got time to do it. And like, I gotta fight through the demons of Taco Bell and Burger King on the way to the grocery store. I gotta like kind of you know push them out of the way. Make sure I don't pull in. You know what I mean?
Man, if you're on the way to the grocery store to cook a real dinner and you stop by BK, we got to have a serious conversation. Like that's a thing. Like we talked about before. You especially you're convinced that Burger King is the dirtiest of fast food.
They're the scumbag of the fast food industry for sure. They're the uncle that's like hasn't had a job in like 14 years.
Yeah,
Sleeps on his mom's couch. That's Burger King.
got a mail order bride.
Got a mail order bride that also lives with his mom
Yep. Oh
and
yeah.
him.
It's his third
They have
wife.
a room. They have a room that was an office that's been converted to his room that has no door. And his
Right.
mom repeatedly catches them having sex in the room
And in public.
and in public.
That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going
Oh
on.
shit, that's Burger King.
That is Burger King.
Um,
Every time
but
I go by and I see someone in the drive-through, I always wonder what's going on in their life that led them to this point. Like, where did they go wrong? Like, at what point in your life, like, I don't know, like someone touch you? Like, what happened that brought you to this drive-through at Burger King?
at,
Like, why are you
at
getting a
3
crispy
p.m.
why are you getting a crispy chicken sandwich that's the size of a foot long, right? With like a shitty shredded lettuce on top. Like what happened here? What brought you here? Like I kind of want to, or like they're getting chicken fries. It's like what are we doing? What are we
And
doing?
also, like, like, what happened with that marketing meeting when they're like, okay, our Whoppers are only gonna have ketchup and mayonnaise as spreads, just ketchup and mayonnaise, no mustard. We're going just ketchup mayo. It's like,
God,
you
man,
know what? That's the great idea. That's what we're gonna do.
I
All right,
do
just
love
a
the king
pound
though.
of ketchup. The what?
The king.
Oh, the King is great. The King's great. Their marketing's not that bad. They have a
Oh,
Happy
the only
Meal. They have Happy Meals that have toys. Like, like they got some marketing play. Their food's just fucking terrible.
man.
Um, but Taco Bell, on the other hand, is
Oh,
fantastic.
dude. I'm just gonna say and this is funny. Like I cannot tell you the last time I ate at Taco Bell. Like I have no idea. Right? It's been a long time. But however, right now, someone's like, if I'm on keto now, so I wouldn't, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a Taco Bell situation, hell yeah, dude. It is so damn good, right? I want a cheesy gordita crunch.
Yes.
Is the chalupa still on the menu? If
Chalupa's still
so,
there.
like,
Chalupa's still there.
I for sure want a chalupa supreme.
Yeah, yeah.
You
They got
know,
that still. All
that's dude. It's dude. I feel
right, we
like
go.
I
We
feel
go.
like
We
Taco
go.
Bell catches a bad rap, because it's like for sure like not like healthy for you, and the what is it? The ground beef has more not ground beef in it than it has ground beef in it, and
Yeah,
all that.
semantics. Semantics.
I don't give a shit. It is so good.
If you look at it calorically, though, you can actually make good choices there compared to other places where there's just not. Like when I say good choices, I mean comparatively.
Yeah.
If you're looking at straight macros, we're not talking about like okay, like the quality of the food, but look at it from a macro perspective. They have like I think one of the more healthy menus. You can get like a chicken soft taco, and it's like only a couple hundred calories and it's mostly just protein. And if you get the real sauce, then there's really nothing there. You got like, 10, 12 carb, maybe 15 protein, and like and you're good to go. If you look at it from that perspective.
Who's getting a chicken soft taco? Right. Like here's the
Nobody,
deal.
nobody,
If
nobody is.
if I'm going if I'm going to Taco Bell, if that decision has been made, right? If this is
Yeah.
what's going on,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
like the whole thing of like, oh, you go to get ice cream, and they're like, oh, do you want like hot fudge on your sundae? And you're like, nah, man, I'm gonna save the calories. It's like motherfucker, you're at ice cream, just get
Yeah.
the hot fudge.
Let's get the
You know
hot
what I mean?
fudge.
Like we're not trying to cut back these extra 30 grams of sugar on
No.
top of that triple scoop you've got going on that has chunks of candy in it.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we
Right?
doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah. Taco Bell, man. Yeah. Our kids love it. We always go and we'll get like, our kids are pretty simple. Like we get the cheesy roll up for Blake, the small little cheese thing. It's more like a little snack fun trip.
Yeah,
And they have this part's pretty bad for them, but I don't care.
whatever.
Um, the happy hour, they have like basically just like a slushies, and they're
Yeah,
small. They're not super big. They're like this big. Like I think it's the regular size, which I would call small. But
yeah,
but the flavors on those, and they're adult. They're either $4 non happy hour, but if you go between two and or 1 and 3 or 2 and 5, no, excuse me. Anyways, during their happy hour period, It's $1 for this treat. So I'll go get Brock. We'll all go in the car and we'll go to Taco Bell. They'll each get their little ice drink, and Brock will get the cheese quesadilla, how he likes it, no sauce on it, and then the ice drinks. But dude, so they're all Baja Blast base, and
Mm,
then mixed with like strawberry or like raspberry. So it's like Baja Blast and another flavor. But the Baja Blast alone, flavored icy, is like fucking amazing.
dude,
But
that
there's
shit
like
goes
this
fat.
vanilla one. So it's like this. It's called like the Baja Blast Dream. It's like a vanilla icy and the Baja Blast. It's basically like an orange creamsicle, but with
Uh-huh.
Baja Blast instead of orange soda.
Oh,
Dude,
dude.
it's fucking absolutely amazing. But
Well, I'll tell you
there's
what,
Taco
man.
Bell. If you go
When
to
I'm
Taco
off
Bell,
when I'm off keto, I'm doing it. When I'm off keto, I'm gonna go Taco Bell and I'm just gonna fuck myself up.
dude,
You
yeah,
know,
just go for it.
dude.
Full send.
Last Friday night we were having burgers with the neighbors, and anyway, but like we didn't have any buns, and but he's like, I want a bun, so he like went to Instacart some buns, and he's like, okay, I got buns on the way for whoever wants them, and I also got a bag of Doritos. Sounded really good, and so then and some coffee ice cream. So the Instacart shows
Haagen
up at his
Dogs,
house.
Haagen Dogs.
Yeah, dude, Haagen Dazs coffee flavored ice cream
Oh,
is
that's the
like his
best.
favorite. Yeah,
That's the best coffee ice cream probably that's ever been produced.
that's
Anyways,
that's his jam. So anyway, he comes back with the buns, and anyway, a little bit later, he like went out. You know, he lives next door, right? It's just like whatever. He's like, go home for something real quick. Anyway, uh, he then tells me Monday, he's like, dude, those Doritos, I got like the family size bag. He
gone.
goes, every time I went home, I like got another handful of them.
Yep.
He's like, and then that night I sat there and I ate the rest of the bag. I ate an entire family size bag of Doritos that night. I haven't shit right since.
Yes.
And
Yep. My
this was
biggest
like,
guilty, my
and this
biggest
was
guilty
Tuesday.
pleasure.
Tuesday morning is telling me this from Friday, you know, and I was like, oh, dude, like, yeah,
Dude,
that checks out, you
yeah,
know,
it's not good.
especially if you don't eat that type of stuff very often, you know, and then
Mhm.
you just go for it, put down an
Full
entire
bag.
family size bag.
Yeah. I would say my biggest vice as far as junk food goes is potato chips and chips in general. Like that's my if I'm
Yeah.
buying, I'm not like a sweets guy, really. Like I'll eat sweets like here, but it's not my thing. Like I'm not like I don't like, oh, go to the store, like I need to buy some chocolate or I need chocolate. Like I could go weeks, months without eating any chocolate and I'm fine. I don't care. Like it doesn't bother me. But like I need some chips in my life here and there.
What's your
To,
go-to? You're like, dude, I just want a bag of chips. Is
you
there
know
like
what's
a,
funny?
or do you have a couple?
I don't really have a go-to. I just kind of go for like what's new. Like I like trying the new flavors. Like, oh, there's a new
Mm.
Dorito flavor. Like, I want to try that. There's like a new sriracha flavor. Oh, I want to try that. I kind of like trying the new stuff. That's kind of my thing. Like my most recent example is Takis just came out with ranch a ranch flavor. Um, so I bought them for Brock, put them in his little lunch, and I've eaten probably 2/3 of the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like for instance, lunch yesterday didn't consist of any carbohydrates because I had eaten, 3, 4 handfuls of Takis
Huh.
earlier that day. Um,
Yeah.
but oh yeah, what I was gonna say earlier. So I made that lunch decision.
Oh yeah.
Um, went across the street. This is where people like. This is where people need to kind of think about their spending. I could have went to Burger King and dropped $15 and like gotten some bullshit. Wouldn't have even been full. You know what I mean? It would have been crap. But I went across
Yeah.
the street. I got some organic. I got like almost a pound of organic chicken thigh
Hmm.
and a $1 can of enchilada sauce and a thing of cilantro for I think maybe 10, 11, maybe $11, $12. But like I'm talking like almost a pound, right, of
Yeah.
pure meat. So, oh, and I got some sliced jalapeno. I got some fresh jalapenos. 3 fresh jalapenos, full size. Um, and I made myself one of the best lunches I've ever had. It was so good, dude. I already had the seasoning at home for the chicken, so I threw some seasoning on it, threw it in the oven. When it was done cooking, I pulled it out, covered it in just a real light drizzle of that enchilada sauce, put it back in the oven, let that sauce
Try
warmed
it
up,
out.
dried out on there a little bit. Boom, while that was going, because we have two ovens, while that was going, had the sliced jalapenos, a little bit of olive oil, just
Mm,
de-seeded them. So there's still some seeds, but not like all the seeds.
yeah.
So they're actually like edible. So you can just enjoy the flavor without burning your shitter. And had some little olive oil on the jalapenos going, and just had this fucking just delicious fucking 70 gram of protein fucking lunch. You know what I mean? With like just
Yeah.
jalapenos and chicken. It was so bomb. Anyways, I'm way more happy I did that than fucking going to fast food. I guess was my long point. And also giving everybody a good little meal to try out if you like those kind of
Oh
flavors.
yeah.
It was so good.
Dude, I've been eating eggs for lunch like every day. Like with eggs, it's funny, like being hard to get and expensive and stuff. We're like
Makes
in
you
the
want them
opposite.
more.
Well, it's this weird thing. We're in the opposite situation. Is like we have a couple friends that have chickens, and they would drop off eggs sometimes. Dude, we have so many fucking eggs. Like we have like 6 dozen eggs in our
Yeah, it must be
refrigerator right
nice.
now.
Must be nice.
Dude, it's like the other day, like get a text from Rob. He's like, "Hey, just dropped off 3 dozen eggs in our porch." It's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, I had to
And
punch a 70-year-old man in the face for a carton last week.
yeah, it's a whole. You guys do like a shopping cart jousting. It's like the whole thing.
Dude, I got
And so anyway, yeah. So I've been whatever leftover veg, just like heating those up in a bowl, and then dude linguiça. I'm on keto, so I'm just like eating all the fattiest meats. So then like boom, like get some linguiça medallions, crisp them up, throw them on top of the veggies, then fry 3 or 4 eggs, put those on top,
bomb,
and dude, let's go to town. It's fucking great. Dude,
bomb.
yeah, some cheese or
I
sour cream or something like that on there. Like every day. That's what I've been doing.
That sounds good. I've been I've been doing a lot of beef and rice with a lot of kimchi. Just kind of mixing
Oh
it all
yeah.
together. Fuck, dude. I've been on a kimchi kick lately. Um I get the big tub at Costco, you know.
Oh
Mine's
yeah.
mine's
I know
been in
what
the
you're talking
fridge
about.
for a little bit now too, so it's starting to kind of get like carbonated. You
Good.
know when like
Fermenting a little
kimchi,
more.
yeah, you know
That's
when
what
it
you
starts
want.
to almost get to bubbles, you know?
Yeah.
Almost kind of hurt your teeth a little bit. You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh."
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just gonna keep fermenting.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's good for like till like I think the end of this month, but I've been fucking up the kimchi, and, I never was, like, really, like, this is the first time I've ever bought it in my life,
Yeah.
was, like, this, like, month ago.
Oh, dude.
I've tried it, but, like, I don't really remember it, but I'm always like, people are always
Yeah.
talking about how good it is and how it's good for their gut health, and I'm like, "Well, like, I'll give it a go." Like, I like spicy things, and these are all the vegetables I would normally eat. It's like, so what?
Yeah.
Like,
Spicy cabbage, basically.
how could I
Yeah.
not like this? Yeah. This one's got, like, other shit in it, I
Yeah,
think,
little
but
carrots and stuff. Yeah.
it doesn't have any carrots, but it's got like a green
Sure.
onion, I think, like
Ah.
like chive, and
Yep.
then like cabbage, and then I think maybe even onion, like sliced
Hmm.
onion. Oh, it's the Costco one, the one that they fucking sell, the big one,
Yeah. Giant
um,
tub.
giant tub. But it was I've definitely been on the kimchi kick, and I've been enjoying that.
Kimchi life.
This guy, it just pops that flavor into any meal you put it on. It's just like instant flavor.
Probiotics, dude.
Yeah, I definitely needed a probiotic, and I didn't want to like keep buying probiotic supplements. I'm like, why don't I just eat something that's gives me the same benefit?
Yeah, I try
Um,
to eat something probiotic every, if not every meal, every day. I'll get like if it's a fork full of sauerkraut or kimchi, or we get these Bubby's pickles that are fermented. They're not like in a
oh,
vinegar brine; they're fermented, and they have these dill. They have spicy dill, which are hella good, and then it's like regular dill pickles, but
where
they're
do you get those
fantastic,
at?
dude.
The store?
Save Mart, yeah,
Really? What is it called?
yeah.
What's
They
the
probably
brand?
have them at the Rayleigh's by your house or whatever, the Bel Air.
What's it called?
Bubby's.
Bubbies? Is it with the all the other pickles?
Yeah, and so they also have a sauerkraut that's hella good. Their sauerkraut's hella good. They have the pickles, fermented pickles. I mean,
I need to give
spicy pickles.
sauerkraut. I need to give sauerkraut a chance as like an adult. Like I don't remember the last time I've had
But
it. Besides on
also
a broad or
Costco.
something.
Costco has a big tub of sauerkraut, also like kind of by the kimchi. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. But yeah, dude, those Bubby's dill pickles are
What's the
pickles are a cheat
sauerkraut?
code too. There's 0 calories. It's like it's just a cucumber, right? It's like small cucumber.
It's just water. Um,
Yeah.
what is what's like a good? What can you put the kraut on that's not like a brat or like a burger, or like would you put on
Dude,
chicken?
anything. Yeah, you put on chicken. I put it on like honestly, like those talk about those burgers. Like I'll just put a forkful in the burgers. A lot of times I'll just put it on the side too. Like if I'm doing that lunch with like some eggs, like I'll throw a forkful of sauerkraut on the whatever
And just eat
linguiça
it.
and eggs and whatever. Like yeah, it's like it's good. It doesn't really like change the flavor of anything necessarily. It just
Yeah,
tastes. But it's good. Or sometimes I'll just do a forkful. Like I'll just grab a forkful and just eat a forkful of it. Either before or after my meals, just to get it in.
interesting. Yeah, what are your anybody listen? Tell us your favorite probiotic go to foods for your gut or for your your probiotics foods.
Dude, right now we have some legit sour cream. It's like sour cream in theory is always like fermented. That's why it's sour, right? But it's like everything else, like pickles now. Most time you get pickles, it's like a vinegar brine. They're not actually fermented
Yeah,
like people used to make them. Same
yeah.
with sour cream. Like most sour cream is, whatever, like chemicals are just like made to taste that way. But
Mm-hmm.
Jess actually found some like sour cream that's legit probiotic sour cream that's hella good. It's like wait, I'm like, oh man, that's what it's supposed to taste like.
Interesting. Yeah, it's probably a lot
Oh,
more sour.
dude, here's while we're on the whole like topic of foods that are whatever, like the version you buy at the store is not the version. So
Yeah.
we were in Tahoe with this other couple for her 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jessica's like, hey, we're gonna make this dessert that's like that she would love, like whatever, go all in on this. Dude, it was so fucking good. It was like this peanut butter chocolate whipped cream pie. So it's like the crust was like crushed up Oreos for the
Oh,
crust, and you bake that, and then you make like these layers. Then you melt chocolate, and then with the melted chocolate, you pour in something to mix it. Anyway, mix it in. So that's like one layer, and then you take peanut butter and you make this peanut butter whipped cream, right? And then like that's a layer, and then you put whipped cream, and then like regular whipped cream on top. And dude, it's like just this like
Jesus. Sounds amazing.
yeah, like almost like a pudding. It's almost like a pudding type of pie, right?
Sounds
Anyway,
rich. Sounds rich, but it sounds
dude,
good.
yeah, 100%. So we're sitting there and it's like we're making this thing from scratch. It was like kind of like some of the activity for the day. Oh yeah, like makes whipped cream.
Yeah, I'll make this
We have the
pie.
have the heavy whipping cream. Got the whole thing. Start mixing it up, and for whatever reason, we don't know. We couldn't figure it out if it was like the altitude or did we add in. So there's also like some cream cheese. Like, do we add in the cream cheese too soon? But basically, we just couldn't get this whipped cream to fucking whip. Like we just like we're sitting there like beating this, not whipped cream, the heavy cream. Like we could not get this heavy cream to fluff up.
Hmm.
I'm like fuck, man. It was like an hour. We're sitting there with like a mixer, like going at this, and it's just like not happening. It's like we've done this before. Like I don't know, whatever. We're frustrated. So like whatever, fuck it. Like we don't have time for this. Like we got dinner reservations. So I'm gonna go because you had to let it sit in the fridge for a couple hours. So we're like making it before we went to dinner. Like fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the grocery store, buy some whipped cream. We'll just like fold in the peanut butter with some of it, and we'll just use the store bought whipped cream because like this heavy whipping cream, like whatever's going on, it's not whipping. So uh, go to that's anyway. So go to the store, and I'm like looking at this like ready whip, like in the tubs,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 options here. One of them was like the light. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, this thing is like, this is a dessert. We're just going for it. So I like flip it to look at the ingredients, and that was the biggest mistake. It's
Oh,
like
it's like a laundry
because
list.
dude, it's funny because at home, like we're at this cabin, we're going to make it, and it's like heavy whipping cream and sugar, and then like maybe, and then like this one had some cream cheese added in, but whatever. Like that was it. Like those were all the like period end of ingredient list, right? Dude, I'm like I'm thinking it's gonna be like heavy cream. I flip it over. First thing, it's like it goes like high fructose corn syrup, and then that was where it started, and then it was
Alien
just
gum and all these other
dude. Then it was
bullshit.
followed by a bunch of shit that I've never heard of, can't pronounce, whatever. And I'm just like, oh my god. And then there's another. I'm like, oh, maybe this off brand will be a little bit different, or the store brand. I flipped that thing over. Very first thing it said was like, uh, high fructose triglycerides or such. I was like, triglyceride solids. And I'm just like, oh my God, how is this worse? Like I thought when you start with high fructose corn syrup as the first ingredient, that was probably going to be like the top of the shit food list. And then
Then they
like, no,
leveled it up.
They figured it out. They figured out a way to one up. And so I'm like, whatever. Like this is just what's happening. But it was one of those things where it was just like another eye opening. Like we don't buy a lot of that type of stuff. It's not whatever.
Just
And
chemicals.
it was yeah, dude. It's like so like whipped cream. People think whipped cream's so bad for you, and like yeah, it's fatty and sugar. However, like you make homemade whipped cream and you can like ingredients, heavy whipping cream, sugar. And it's like you look at this thing and it's like, yeah, this is for sure way worse for you. You know what I mean? It's like your grandma used to make this pie that she's been making from scratch in the 70s and like or the 60s, whatever. And like you compare that to using today's store-bought ingredients, and it's an entirely different thing. Like at least heavy whipping cream and sugar, it's like food products. You know
Yeah,
what
you
I
know what
mean?
it
It's
is.
like
Yeah, they're natural products, right? You can get
and
milk from a cow. You can get sugar. It's all sugar's all kind of processed, but still,
yeah, but
whatever.
if it's just like whatever
Just
sugar in the
cane
raw,
sugar.
or
Just
it's like
cane sugar.
cane sugar and dairy, right? Compared to just this laundry list of guars and gums and solids and
Yeah.
high fructose. This did it was like I was like, holy shit, this is wild. Like calorically, probably equivalent. Fat and sugar content, probably equivalent. However, one of those is far worse for you than the other one. Like there's no doubt, there's no question, right? And it was like, dude, this is
That's
wild.
gnarly. And then you taste it and you're like, "Oh, okay, maybe that does make sense why it has all those things in it." Because it kind of tastes chemically in a weird way. You take a
Oh yeah,
spoonful of like Cool Whip from like you're like, "Oh, that tastes." It all kind of makes sense.
this tastes
Um,
like a food product, not like
yeah.
a food.
We when we were buying some like a while back for the first time in a while, we bought the organic one that was coconut based.
No,
And it had a slight coconut flavor.
that's catch.
Um,
Yeah,
but which Kelsey hates coconut, but for me, I could like, oh, this is like way like it had way less ingredients and it was like less calories. Which with whipped cream, it's like, I mean, how much are you really eating? Like you take a big spoonful, it's like 15, 10 calories. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, um, how much are you really going to be eating? But it was fine. And it was better. Like I felt better about eating it than I would have, I think, like the regular one. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think, yeah, it sounds like making it yourself is the way to go.
yeah. Totally, absolutely.
I need to try and make it myself. That'd be kind of fun to do. Um,
Yeah, it's really not hard. Like Jessica does it before. Like we've done it before. Like it's not. That's why we were so like, why is this not whipping up the way we thought it should? But like I said, I don't know if it was the altitude or we added something in or whatever. I'm not really
maybe it has to
sure.
be like a certain kind of sugar,
No, I don't think it was the
a
sugar.
thinner
I think that
grain.
yeah, I think that we put some like I said, like some cream cheese in it or something. But like in the directions it said, like add the cream cheese and then whip it up. But we're like, if you add, maybe we added it too soon, or yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think Danny needs to do differently to make that whipping cream? What did he
Yeah,
do wrong?
man.
Let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
let's shout out all our bakers.
shout out to the baking crew. Speaking of, yeah, I mean that's that. Speaking of that, Kelsey's back on the sourdough train. There was a couple months there, or a month and a half there, where she was taking a break, I guess. But now it's back in full swing. There's loaves
Oh
of
man,
sourdough everywhere.
dude.
That's
She ever
my
do
other
like the
vice.
sourdough bagels?
You know what? No, no. Maybe we should try to.
Yeah, we got. I know someone who does sourdough bagels. They do sourdough cookies, and they're actually like pretty damn good.
She did the cookies. She did the cookies before. Um, and I remember I bought some from those people next to us at
Yeah,
the NorCal Classic. Those were
yeah,
fucking amazing cookies. I didn't
yeah.
necessarily even really taste the sourdough. They were just really good
No,
cookies.
they're just always soft. They're soft and chewy.
Yeah, they were bomb. Kelsey always, whenever Kelsey makes cookies from scratch, they're always super soft like that. So,
Yeah.
but
It's
it
like you
was
want the inside to be like still
barely
not
cooked.
quite
Yeah,
cooked.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, now I want something sweet, and I just said I don't really crave sweets after all this sweet talk. No pun intended.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Well, yeah, I had a nice big omelet thing for lunch, and so I'm just 4 hours until I get really tired in 25.2,
Well, best of
and
luck to
we'll
you. I'll
see.
probably be hitting it in the next day or so here, and I will be doing if I get that far. I will be doing jumping chest to bar burpee pull ups.
There we go.
That's a good trick. Thanks for that. All right. Well, think that's gonna do it for today. And yeah, we'll
Look
see you
out for
guys,
the beach benchmaster.
dude. Yeah, big big hog old big hog big hog chesties.
Big dude. There we go.
The
Yeah.
chesticle program.
Chesticle, hot hog chesticles.
Hot hog chesticle program 2025.
Just to name something that doesn't make no sense.
No sense.
Here we go. Hot hog chesticles coming at you.
Hot hog chesticles coming in the next month or so here. Who knows? That's a made up time frame, but soon. Anyways,
Coming
all right,
soon.
guys. We'll see you next week.